As always, it's interesting to hear what the guys have to say in the face-off. All right, Eric, now it's time for your picks. Let's get it started with our game of the week, Dundee-Crown and Jacobs.
Yeah, it kind of rivalry week extended here. We've got, last week we had a lot of rivalry games around the area. This week we got District 300 rivals Dundee-Crown and Jacobs squaring off, and this is always exciting. When two teams, traditional rivals, square off, they have a lot of intensity, a lot of spirit in this game, so you expect nothing less in this week's game of the week. Dundee-Crown comes in hoping to end on a high note. They won 3 in a row earlier this season, but have struggled since. Played some pretty tough competition. Jacobs 1-7. They've lost 7. It's lost 7 in a row, dating back to that Week 1 thrilling win against Moline. The Eagles would certainly love to end on a high note, so certainly expect both teams to come out and play hard. Jacobs has won 5 in a row in this rivalry in the past 5 years, and I think that streak's going to end this year. I'm going to take Dundee-Crown. I think the Chargers just a little cut ahead this year. Certainly expect a heck of a game out there on Friday night, but I think Dundee-Crown's going to take care of business on the road.
All right, then a couple teams looking to end the season on a high note. Streamwood and South Elgin, they're going to be doing battle on Friday.
Yeah, Friday at Millennium Field. Both kind of a home field advantage for both teams. They both play home here, so that kind of lends itself to a little rivalry matchup. Streamwood and South Elgin both come in, no hopes of the playoffs, but certainly trying to finish strong. The Sabres played pretty well against Neuqua Valley last week. Got to give them some respect for that. They didn't show up in the final score, but they played well. Meanwhile, South Elgin trying to finish strong. Match last year's 3-win victory total, so something to play for there. And another sort of rivalry game. Nearby neighbors, should be a good contest. But I like South Elgin. I think Coach Dale Shaver's team has made some big strides this season, and I think that it's going to take care of business. But Streamwood is certainly capable of hanging right with them. Expect another good game between a pair of U46 rivals.
All right, then Elgin coming off a disappointing loss last Saturday. They're going to be hosting Lake Park.
Yeah, it's a tough task for the Maroons here. The big thing, Coach Dave Bierman said that the team is not too down after that loss to Larkin. It's easy to get kind of down in the dumps after a loss to a rival, especially kind of a frustrating situation. Jamal Cook was out for that game for Elgin for some personal reasons, and so tough situation for the Maroons there. But the task gets no easier this week. I know the Maroons are up for it, but Lake Park's coming in playing a lot better than that 3-5 record. I think Lake Park's got the upper hand here. I'm going to take the Lancers in this one in the season finale over at Memorial for the Maroons.
All right, then Larkin in a great spot if you would ask Coach Matt Garrick. I'm sure at the beginning of the season, last week of the year, you got a chance maybe to make the playoffs. They're going to be traveling to take on Waubonsie Valley.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect from Larkin coming into this season. I tell you what, the Royals have really exceeded my expectations. Getting in this position, I didn't see them being in contention for a playoff spot going to Week 9. So kudos to the Royals for really a nice job this season, buying into Coach Garrick's new system of defense and running the ball, and just kind of being disciplined in that regard. So got to give them credit for that. They got a tough test this week though. Waubonsie Valley's coming in 5-3, but they could be a little better than that. They played some tough competition. The Warriors have a lot of speed and a lot of size up front, so I think Waubonsie Valley's got the edge here. Got to give them the edge at home. But Larkin, if the Royals come out and play their very best game of the season, I certainly think that they're capable of winning this game. But it's going to take no mistakes from start to finish, so we'll see what happens.
Should be interesting. All right, then a playoff-bound Hampshire team. They're going to be traveling to take on Marengo.
Yeah, the Whips. They're in. They're going to be the Big Northern Conference representative, but certainly would like to finish out the season with a 6th consecutive win and go 6-3, go in the playoffs, get a little better spot there. I see no problem. They should be able to take care of business against a struggling Marengo team. And I like the Whips to kind of march right into the playoffs and carry that momentum, and we'll see how far they can go.
All right, then Bartlett, a team looking to finish off the unbeaten regular season. They're going to be traveling to take on East Aurora.
Yeah, kind of similar situation for the Hawks here as with Hampshire. Bartlett's got a great shot. They're going to play an East Aurora team that's been struggling, so I certainly think Bartlett's going to take care of business here. 9-0, the Hawks have it set up for a deep playoff run, so this is kind of like the last step. But let's just point out, it's quite an accomplishment to go through the entire regular season undefeated, and if Bartlett can do it, especially against some of the teams that it's played, got to give them credit, and they'll be deserving of whatever ranking they get in that. They're going to be in the top 4 no matter what, maybe top 2 in the state Class A playoffs, and now it'll be up to see what they do in the long run. But certainly got to take Bartlett here.
All right, then St. Charles North coming off a pretty disappointing loss to St. Charles East last week. They're going to be traveling to take on Neuqua Valley.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easy here. And North's 5-3 coming in. They haven't clinched that playoff berth yet. I think they're going for their 7th playoff trip in a row, but they still need to get that 6th win to assure it. I think the playoff points might get them in, but nothing's guaranteed, so you want to take care of business. But Neuqua Valley's got an even tougher hill to climb. The Wildcats need a win to get in the playoffs this week, and so whether or not they can do that, that'll just get them the 5-win threshold, make them eligible. So they must win. There's no question about it. So it's going to be a tough contest for North, and you're going to be licking their wounds after that loss to St. Charles East last week. And I just think this is a tough test on the road. I'm going to take Neuqua Valley over St. Charles North.
All right, then Burlington Central, a team comes in after getting shut out last week against Hampshire. They're going to be hosting Harvard.
Yeah, Harvard needs a win here to get in the playoffs. So the Hornets, perennial playoff team, they I think went to the state quarterfinals the past couple of years. So the Hornets are going to be hungry. They need a win. Burlington Central, the young team, this is a stepping stone for them. If they can win here, they're going to be looking at taking that in momentum for next year. A nice way to send the seniors out, and also you get to play the spoiler role. So plenty to play for here for the Rockets. But I think Harvard's got the upper hand, and considering what they've got on the line, I think the Hornets are going to come in and take care of business.
All right, no breathers for St. Edward in the Suburban Catholic Conference. They're going to be traveling to take on Marmion.
Yeah, they hang with state-ranked Montini last week, state-ranked Driscoll before that. I mean, it's just unbelievable schedule the way it's played. But Coach Rolando made a good point to me when I talked to him this week that it used to be when you talk to the coaches, opposing coaches, they'd have looks of pity in their eyes after the game. Now it's looks of respect. They've really gained a lot this season. Got to give a lot of credit to St. Edward. Just a tough schedule, and eventually they're going to get over this playoff hump. But regardless, Marmion's a tough test. The Cadets are a solid team. The two teams come with the same records, but Marmion certainly no pushover. St. Edward's certainly capable of hanging right with them, and maybe they can get over the hump as they haven't been able to the past couple of weeks. But I think Marmion's just got a little edge going in, so I'm going to take the Cadets at home.
All right, then Huntley looking to close out that undefeated season. They're going to be traveling to take on Johnsburg.
Yeah, wow, the Red Raiders really doing some stuff this year. Really impressed me with that win against Prairie Ridge last week, and certainly can't pick against them here. It's a tough test. The Skyhawks are a pretty solid team, but Huntley should be able to take care of business here as it has every week this season. So really got to give the Red Raiders a lot of credit. Going 9-0 and finishing undefeated is really saying something that'll leave a legacy at the school, regardless of what happens in the playoffs. But if they keep on playing like this, I think the Raiders can have a lengthy run. But let's take first things first. I like Huntley over Johnsburg.
All right, then. Genoa Kingston coming off a couple tough losses here. They're going to be traveling to take on Byron.
Yeah, overtime loss to Stillman last week. Lost to state-ranked Oregon the week before. That kind of knocked the Cogs pretty much straight out of the Big Northern West title race. But this is a key game. You got to get to that 7th win. The Cogs come in 6-2. If they can win, they can probably assure themselves a home game and maybe a little easier road for a lengthy playoff run. So big game for GK here, and it's not easy going on the road to Byron. The BNC West is tough this year. The tougher the two BNC divisions. And I think it's not going to be easy, but I like GK here on the road and get some momentum into the playoffs.
All right, then St. Charles East coming off that big win against North last week. They're going to be hosting Thornridge.
Yeah, the Saints, a tough test here. This is, they got to take care of business in the last week of the season. Thornridge might not have that good of a record, but St. Charles East just has to keep that, keep the focus here going forward. They should be able to take care of this game with relative ease, but you don't want to overlook anything. So I like the Saints here. They got to get that key 7th win. It's not going to be easy, but I like the Saints in this game.
All right, thanks again for all your picks, Eric. Be sure to check out the Courier News on Friday for in-depth game previews on all the weekend's action.
Yeah, and also check back on Saturday for our game wrap-ups, and we'll also have on Sunday come back. The playoff pairings are announced Saturday night by IHSA, and that'll be on ihsa.org, but we'll have full coverage of our local area teams here at the Courier on Sunday's paper, so check back.
And then the Courier News online late Saturday. Be sure to look for the Game of the Week highlights between Dundee-Crown and Jacobs. And all weekend long, be sure to look at the All Around E-Town blog on the Courier News online as Eric, myself, and a few other guys will be blogging about high school football.
And also, we'll be back next week with the Courier Prep Football Weekly Playoff Edition, looking ahead. So check back, and it's been a fun year. We're looking forward to the playoffs.
It's going to be very exciting. Enjoy this weekend's action. For Erik Jacobsen, I'm Andy Rohr. So long, everybody.